When you're a writer, it's an ideal world. You can create anything that you want to. But that translation from the written page to reality, therein lies the nature of my job. My sole function in life is to make what George wants physically happen. One thing I knew from the beginning was that Anakin was from Tatooine. There's no way you can really physically recreate that in any stage environment or even backlot environment. You have to go there. So very early on, Gavin and I went on a location scout to Tunisia. And we found an area in Tozeur. We figured if we went about 15, 20 miles outside of the city, in the middle of the desert, we could build our own town and make it as big as George wanted to do.
Okay, so these are all the pieces we get to play with.
We could use that as the cafe, or just redress it, take that. So the questions will become is how much more do we need?
We're talking about building this in Tozeur now, right?
Yes.
There's a wonderful art director that we hired called Ben Scott, and we put him in charge of setting up the huge construction job of building virtually a city in the middle of the desert. Is this where the cafe would be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the cafe here. This is where Sebulba has a confrontation. Now, all these things have been made in England and brought over here.
The most difficult scene to deal with in the desert was definitely the pod race scene. George was thinking about like a 747 type engine. I mean, they're 2-3 stories high, they're 15, 16 feet long. It took us about 3.5 months to build the 18 engines that we eventually sent to Tunisia. The movement of a crew to a location, it's like moving a small platoon across the desert. It's a campaign. And that brings a lot of complications, but it's really like war now.
And turn over. 26 George, take 2A camera.
And action!
It was 138, 140, 145 degrees every day. By 11 o'clock in the morning, you were so fried, you could barely think. By 1, you'd lost 3 or 4 pounds of weight. You feel like every bit of liquid in your body is boiling.
Just tell everyone to look to see if they have water next to them. If they have water, it has to go.
Action. يسار يمين.
We do not work on a normal level. We arrive and we shoot, and nothing stops us shooting, no matter what the natural disaster that hits us. As we drove back to the hotel after our 3rd day of shooting, I saw some lightning in the far distance. I was kind of alarmed by the lightning, but I figured it would pass during the evening. Sat down to dinner, and all of a sudden, all hell broke loose.
لا هو في الأول معناها جاء رمل ونسمع.
At the beginning, there were wind and the sand blew up.
It's going to be very, very, very hot today.
And we couldn't get radio contact with our security guards because they were holed up in the toilet.
نحن تخبينا في التوالة معناها في التواليت كرمك الله.
And they all ran to the toilet and they shut themselves in the toilet.
I mean, the main thing here is not to have panic and everybody just to be running all over the place. I think we have to head up little teams of people and work methodically through it.
It was devastating. You know, I figured maybe the tents would have been gone, but everything was gone. Let's get in here with Trish.
Remove the wall from the roof. Push the roof into the middle with the poles and pull the wall off, and then you'll find your belongings underneath.
You guys got the manpower, though, for the moment?
Well,
I think
for the
if we
moment,
get through
yes,
this,
we're
yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Okay. Liam's wig, how's that?
They're working on it. They're still finding bits and pieces.
All right.
Moustaches and stuff.
It's only one piece.
No, it's not.
Do you think? The engines, look at that. That is grim.
Is it okay?
We have Anakin, the little boy. These are his engines, which play the most crucial part in the movie.
Right.
They're split in two, which doesn't look good. Yeah, this is heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking.
All right, I think, again, if we push this back to the end, I mean, if we can live with Anakin working on one engine, we've got the replacement pod, which is in good shape. This is pretty good shape. There's a little battering, but nothing that can't be fixed up. This piece we can actually crack. George was totally calm about the storm. The same thing had happened to him on the first Star Wars film.
I say it's good luck.
It is good luck.
It happened last time, and it happened this time. Almost, it's like reliving it.
Either you give up and you say, oh, let's go back to bed, and you panic. The only real thing you can do is just try and get people to rally around the task at hand. Luckily, we had this one set that we could still continue to shoot on. Pushing the pod race to the very end of the schedule, we never lost a beat after that, and we walked out of Tunisia the exact day that we were supposed to. I love shooting on location. I mean, that's my favorite. If you're working on a stage, it's always achievable. But when you're on location, you never know what's going to happen. Now, do you need that one down, George? Do you think they'll get away?
Big one here?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
We do? No problem.
Go ahead.
Can you get the local boys just to get that one last pod down, the red one over here? When we finally did shoot the pods, I volunteered to shoot a wide shot of the scene from a crane. One of the things that I could see that was so wonderful was not only all of our pods rebuilt, but beyond that sand dune was our whole base camp, which had been completely rebuilt. And to see it all working, seeing the second unit about a half a mile away actually shooting, seeing the first unit prepping for our biggest scene in the movie, it was joy. It was pure bliss. I'd hit the mountaintop. Perfect day.